Uh, Getting a glimpse of Danny DeVito it just makes me chuckle. I had to throw him in the thumbnail. Uh, he's friggin' hilarious on, what's that show? Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Anyway, I don't know why that's funny. Just a glimpse of it. Alright, so welcome to Make a Path Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today on the cheapest podcast on YouTube, we're going to discuss, well, I was going to keep it open. We were going to discuss trash TV in general. To give thoughts and opinions on Resident Evil, which normally I wouldn't even give it the time of day. However, I'm a huge fan. If you were making something Resident Evil, I would be its core demographic. The original video game, right, is probably one of my favorite moments. I don't want to say childhood, like a little kid, but, you know, preteen. Like when I was 12, I think I played Resident Evil. When it was, you know, Biohazard, Resident Evil, when it was first out on PlayStation 1. And man, I still remember me and my brother home alone, shutting off the lights, both parents at work, taking turns playing Resident Evil as a brand new game. Dog jumping through the window. I shit myself a little. I think we both did. I mean, so much fun. That was probably... I grew up liking the idea of zombies in entertainment. But that was probably the moment where I knew I fell in love with the zombie genre. The original Resident Evil game. Now, when I say I would be like the core demographic, when you take that name, you would think, okay, you know, people like this attached to the fan base. We know it's a bit divided. You know, fans of that don't lean so heavily into the cheesier side, but they adore the more zombie aspect, the more creepy, atmospheric feel to Resident Evil, blended into this more mysterious lab work that's kind of underneath but not right on top. I mean, Resident Evil, when I think about it, a TV show, a perfect show for me would be legit starting in a helicopter. You get the, you know, like the Predator movie where a couple people are talking and you get a really quick vibe of who is who and what's what of the friends. It would be so fantastic to get a little helicopter shot of a couple STARS members, team members, and then the helicopter crashes and boom, we have the official beginning of the video game. They run into a mansion, atmospheric vibe, make it creepy, but draw that out as like, instead of like a 2-minute cutscene, first 10-15 minutes of the series, they get into the mansion. And the first 3 episodes are legit the beginning of them exploring this mansion. You got to do the creep factor ramped up, couple Easter eggs to some puzzles, classic zombies. I mean, slow at first and really lay it on. Add some character building. My God, you can have something amazing. I don't know why, but... Well, I know what happened with the movies went wrong because some idiot got a hold of the franchise and said, hey, I'm going to turn my wife into an action movie star. And it was all downhill from there. And then you had now modern day Resident Evil. I don't want anything to do with, because the focus is on Umbrella. When Umbrella should be left largely in the shadows for a good portion. This TV show's a perfect example of how terrible it is, showing the CEO woman coming in going like, I'm a badass, I cut heads off rats, and I'm super snarky, and I smile, and I'm real evil, and it's all about the money, but it's all about, you know, taking over the world, and holy shit, is she a cartoon villain in this. Mr. Halel, I rarely, obviously this is all subjective, but I'm going to state you're wrong. He says, I think they did Wesker well. You are wrong. The actor is so incredibly talented. I love the actor. He was in The Wire as well. And, Horizon Zero Dawn is a video game. He did it so well, he made it work. So I was joking by saying you said it wrong. But anyway, even the first episode here, we're going to kick it off with what's wrong. But even the first episode here, it might be the second episode. They have a scene with Wesker coming to talk about his daughter possibly being in a fight at school. And that scene, I give you credit. It's probably one of the better scenes in the series, and it's still weak as shit. The reason it's weak as shit is because the writing is terribly weak. They have an awesome moment to have, Wesker just show off a little bit of his bad side. And it is the best part about the show for the first few episodes. The best scene, one of. But it's so still incredibly weak. And I'm done making excuses by saying, all right, most of it was trash, but, there was a good moment here. That scene was good. The actor's so good, he does good with Wesker. True, so far, he's doing good with Wesker. I mean, you could change his name, though, and he can be any friggin' character, but... Anyway, let's run through the first episode. But I was going to talk about the Munsters as well. That trailer looks horrible. Maybe I don't even need to say anything else. The Munsters trailer looks like shit. Before we get into this, there's a member-only stream happening Sunday, which is tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to become a member, become a member. We're trying to hit a goal of 50 members by the end of July. If you are a member, you'll see a community post only members can see on YouTube, and it'll have the link for the video there. You'll also be the only one to see the link when I publish the stream. It'll be a member-only stream for us to show up and discuss what's moving forward for the channel. Anyhow, so very good-looking chick with a, living out in a post-apocalyptic world that's in ruins with a hairstyle that looks like there's no way in fucking hell that she had this done by herself in the post-apocalyptic. But we always get this, though. It's, The Walking Dead had, teens running around with hair all perfect, and I've dated enough females in my time to know that is fucking bullshit, Anyhow, so she's got the only shining star, or the only bright, the only redeeming factor is she actually does get dirty, and she's got dirt on her face later on. Her hair's a little messy. So at least they don't go totally ridiculous. But just starting it out, it's like, just give us some more realism shit. She should look scruffed to begin with. She's out here in the world doing her experiments 5 feet away from zombies. And I don't want to hear any, she sprayed some camouflage. Fuck that. She's 5 feet away from zombies. She cuts herself, and then she's like, oh my God, they noticed me. And then she's attacked. Probably one of the dumbest. Not only is she instantly attacked, there's no fail-safe. There's no safety. It's not like she's watching them from a unit to where if, God forbid, anything happens, they're 10 feet away. If anything happens, she's fucked, God forbid if anything happens, then they go to her, but the way she's situated, it's caged off, and it buys her enough time to get away. Now, here's the thing. You would say, but then the action scene wouldn't happen. Well, I tell you what, maybe it doesn't need to. Or smarter writers should have wrote something. Because this is someone experimenting on zombies 10 feet away, and now she's suddenly in a run for her life. Also, they can have an explosion. So this creature, this fire stuff, I don't know. I don't know where they come with these ideas, but for me it came off as just really stupid and try hard. And then we get the Tremors moment with a caterpillar moth thing that screams like a
a lion or something. I don't know. It's like, what the fuck? What kind of shit is that? Hey, thanks for subscribing to the channel. Yeah, this right here. I mean, it might look cool and all, and it's huge, but you think they would have a little more unique type of... I don't know. Even the spider has the same cliche, heavy thuds. You know what would be super creep? Silence. You just see these skinny spider legs silently, instead of just a run on, the spider's like do 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 do. Just these skinny, super slow. You see something, is that something moving? Incredibly slow and silent. And then you're like, holy fuck, that's a goddamn spider. And then you see the size of it and it's like, holy shit. And the way it ducks its body and then moves and fast like and barely makes noise, and you're like shitting yourself. Instead, it's everything here in this show seems basic, barely thought out, by the books. And then you got the teenage, they do the flash back and forth. They're trying to establish the friends when they were young, and then the sisters when they're old, and holy fuck, I can't stand it. You got the cliche shit where one of them's connected to the other, and she doesn't want to go back to her sister. Like, give me a fucking break, man. We've been here, done that. This sister's such an absolute bitch. When they get to the science lab and let the dog out, I was praying for the dog to just take her out. We know she doesn't, though, because she grows up to be the main character. She's such an asshole, though, the entire time. And, excuse me, an unrelenting piece of shit this bitch is. And then this one gets bit by the dog, and I'm like, oh, man. What the writers don't understand, though, is some of these things, like, okay, the dad has to move for a job, he works too much, she's not happy about it. There's got to be redeeming moments, and her just being like, oh, I care for my sister, is not a redeeming moment. You need to showcase a little more with that. You know, give some push and some break. Add a little complexity to her character instead of just me not happy, me a cunt, you know? You got to do something more, but they don't. Anyhow, she gets slam-a-lammed on this car. I don't know how she's not. And if she doesn't have superpowers by the end of this, because the end of the first episode is fucking hilarious. I must have silent laughed. You know that laugh where you start feeling a pain in your gut, you're laughing hysterically, but you're not making any noise, and it's so incredibly fucking stupid, because I'll tell you what I thought in my head. She's going to break her legs and be eaten alive. I'll explain that in a second. That's all I thought, because the ending is so incredibly fucking dumb in this. But she better have superpowers. She gets lifted up. You're not even holding on. Don't even give me this shit. I gotta keep stopping him because yeah, she gets lifted up, and look at the size of this. At least the moth caterpillar looks cool, though. Yeah, I mean, it looks cool. Looks creepy as fuck. I mean, look at that. She's getting whiplash. Her legs are probably fucking shot. Look at that. That right there. And look at the distance. Look how high up that is. Now, she's not just falling. Imagine if she was just falling. She's not just falling. A creature has lifted her purposefully in the air, and this creature is now about to, what is that? Let's say 10, 20, 30, 40. Is that 40 feet in the air? Give, take, maybe a little 45 feet in the air. Creature is now body slamming the absolute fuck. Every bone in her body is broken. It's done. She's dead. Fuck that. She's done. Nope, she don't even break through the window. No, she don't even break through the fucking window. She got lifted 50 feet in the air. Boom! And she's just like, oh, ow, you know? Oh, I got knocked out. I'm pretty knocked out, you know? Oh, look at her. Oh, that hurt. Oh. Get the fuck out of here, stupid ass show. They show up with some machine guns and shoot the creature. They save the day. Another badass, super smart, super caring lead character just suddenly saved.
even though she should have died right there. But anyway, they add some other stupid bully shit in this, which is real cringy. The teenage stuff, I don't give a flying fuck about, just because it's done so poorly. If they did it well, I probably would have been alright with it. The same old, oh, I called Umbrella, you're wanted, don't call Umbrella, they're evil. Oh, but you have a bounty, they show up. It's like, come the fuck on. We've been here, we've done that, this is terrible, generic. The bully gets her ass kicked. At least there's something interesting. This is the scene. One of the most redeeming scenes
I didn't mean to.
is Wesker goes off and threatens him. And it's so by the numbers and basic. It's one of the best scenes in the show. And if you compared it to good writing, it's a bad scene. The concept is excellent. The actor saves the fucking day. But it's trash. I'm sick of making excuses for more like basic bottom of the bin bullshit. This is as basic and bottom of the barrel as it gets. So she's a vegan because it's 2022. You got to have a vegan, and I'm convinced that no, maybe not. But anyway, so she's a vegan. And she has to break out the animal. So this is where they go with the dog. Okay, the dog is in the first one. We get a Resident Evil dog. The Umbrella guys in their armor show up. And it's just like Stormtroopers where they have the armor, but when they get shot normally, they're like... You know? It's like, wait, where did you get shot though, bro? I mean, in the head? Why are you wearing a fucking helmet? What the fuck is the purpose of that helmet?
Been missing the streams cause of work. But if you're looking for a show, check out Love, Death and Robots on Netflix. Anthology series with a lot of horror mixed in. Episodes are 15 minutes long each. You won't be disappointed.
We're going to get, thank you very much for kicking off the donos. We're going to get to the chat after my review. I appreciate that, and I do have that show on my list. Back to this, though, but thank you, Chase, and I will get back to the donos and kick it off here in a second when we get to the fan feedback. But, so, you got Umbrella guys with armor that doesn't do shit because every time they get shot, they're fucking instant dead no matter where they get shot. You've got them, when I was their age, I knew better for a lot of different things that they do in here. I knew, well, I'm going to do this, but I'm probably going to get fucked up for it. You know, this is probably not going to work out. This is probably not smart. They go up to this cage that looks like it's holding Hannibal Lecter in animal form, and they think, I'll open it and just take a picture. I'm not fucking dumb. So she opens it, and sure enough, a rotted dog jumps out of this motherfucker. Well, I mean, what did you think was going to come out of it? A cute little bunny being like, oh, thank you, you know? Look at this fucking shit. Well, any day now. They love their point of view. I don't know. When will people realize point of view is something that you have to do in moderation? You have to do a little bit here, here, and here. They love that shit in this. They get off on it. They're like, yeah, point of view, fucking take it, you know? It's stupid. Show us the fucking dog already. There we go. Now, dog looks good. I give him credit. When he runs, it's a little stiff, but I take what I can get. It's the premiere. You know, they did good with the first episode. Dog actually looks good. I like the dog. I wish the dog fucking ate both the bitches, though. Yeah, see how he runs? It's a bit stiff. I don't care. Dog looks the best. They would have got eaten right now. Anyway, they get away multiple times when they shouldn't. For once, I would have liked to see smart characters. Like, when they first hid from the dog, instantly. If you want to write a good character, have one of the girls take off her jacket and, like, maybe wipe it on the table and set the jacket down on top of the thing that's making noise. And then they hide right below it. So then we can start making a connection like, okay, you know what? They are smart. They are clever. And you start building something where we I don't know, some connection where even if we don't like them in the moment, we respect them and appreciate some of their intelligence, you know, quick wit, quick thinking, whatever it is. Here's the part where I died. So she wants to get away from Umbrella. And it's funny because it's so funny because you have the female CEO and they show the boardroom with all the corporate people. And I'm so glad they do this, though, because the corporate people, in Umbrella, they're all evil. They're all pieces of shit. But they load it with minorities. So I fucking love it. Because you would figure, think about it, the only bad guy that they show, I mean, legitimately in this modern day scenario, is the fat white guy. Everyone else, the other white guy was the guy that betrayed her and called, and then it was the black guy that helps her out and saves her, but then accidentally gets killed. The boardrooms with minorities and females. But then on the flip side, they end up being like evil and all about, the money and stocks, and they do it anyway. But it's just funny the angle they go. So you got a bad guy here, and they do like this weird, like, dun dun dun, the bad guy showing up. And of course, since he's just some fat gamer, geeky, weird, idiot white guy, he trips down the steps. Say, can you be any more on the nose? Like, calm the fuck down. Just give us, like, I want a cool bad guy. They kind of have this sarcastic, like, shit giver type, and the concept has something going for it. That could work. However, then you have him looking like an idiot tripping down steps, and you make him look like a fucking goof. It's like, how am I supposed to fear about this bad guy? He looks like a fucking goofball. He can't even walk down the stairs, and you want me to be afraid he's going to catch the hero? Get the fuck out of here. Anyhow, she runs away from the not drunk yet still stumbling idiot villain. He's not even the lead anything, but he's, technically the lead. The front lead, let's call it. So this is the big moment. At the end of the episode, she runs, she fucking jumps. Look at that. Look at that shit, man. The caterpillar lifts her, 40, 50 feet in the air? You thought that was bad? How tall is that? Let me just do some quick estimates here. Let's say she's about 5 foot. Now, the show wants you to think she's about 6 foot, ripped, smart, intelligent, a genius, perfect at everything. But she got fucked up by a giant caterpillar, so she ain't shit. She about 5'1" at best. She's probably 5'7", but let's say 5 foot. So you got 5... 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 45, 50, 60. Let's say that's about a 60-foot drop, right? Give or take. I may have added a little too much there, but let's just say 60 foot because it's not straight down. It's at an angle, which would actually add a few more feet the more angular you go. Okay. She's jumping 60 feet down. That's at least, 1, 2, 3, let's say 4 stories up. The moment I saw this, I thought, she is leaping to her certain death. Not instantly, though. She is going to break her legs, scream out in pain, and then be eaten alive. Goddamn. Goddamn, is that fucking amazing. I laughed so fucking hard when I thought, that's the first thing I instantly thought of. She's going to break her legs and be eaten alive. This is one amazing way to end the episode 1. Something triggered, and I just couldn't stop laughing for a minute. I had a laughing fit like crazy. And then sure enough, the next episode, they have the audacity, fucking audacity to start that shit off. First off, in slow motion, hoping you'd forget she's 60 feet in the air. She's 4 stories in the air, leaped without a care in the world. Supposedly, she has no superpowers whatsoever. Get to it. They do like this incredible slow motion. Yeah, right here. Oh, and she didn't even land. She lands on her shin, her knee. Like, her leg is shattered. Her leg is so broken at this point, they would have to amputate it because they wouldn't be able to set any of the bone. The bone is fractured into 57 different pieces at this moment in time. Her leg is completely exploded. Done. Internal bleeding, done. You fucking name it. She is crushed. Broken ribs, shattered ankle. Her foot is like hanging off probably by skin. And then they have the audacity to do this. Oh, you're out of breath. You're out of breath. Did someone punch you in the gut? You just shattered both your legs, you stupid bitch. What do you mean you're... Oh God, my ribs. Well, yeah, maybe you broke some ribs, but your legs are shattered. Nope, she gets up, hops on a car. She's fucking... Look at her. She gets up and runs. All right, I'm not going to run through the next 2 episodes. I did watch 4 episodes, and oh my God, this corny fucking CEO bitch right here. God damn. They write some of the worst enemies in the world, or the worst villains. She's bit by a dog, turned into a zombie. This guy, the smartass, this is the best they got for a villain.
Have you seen? Oh yes, horrible.
I will give them credit on one point though. The writer who wrote this one. I want to look at who wrote this one, because there was one shining moment where I was like, they actually had a chance to do something decent. When she goes to this girl's apartment in the future. Where's it at? Oh, it must have been the... no, it's in this episode. She goes to the girl's apartment, and she finds out... Yeah, it's right here. The girl's husband is locked up. And for some reason they call him Barry. I don't know why they would do that, because Barry was in the other one. Just call him a different name. A little nitpick, but whatever. She's feeding them cats. And the actor, definitely, I don't know what else she's been in. She looks familiar. But she comes off good in this scene. This whole scene, the whole interaction here, it's actually good. You know, it's shocking. Now, given it's, again, everything creatively is so creatively bankrupt, it's borrowed from everything else. It's borrowed, you want to borrow the 28 Days Later plot of the animal rights activists showing up. Was that 28 days or 28 weeks? 28 days. Animal rights activists show up to free some animals, and they let the monkey out. Boom, zombie apocalypse. They want to... animal activist vegan wants to free the rabbits, and they let the dog out. Boom, and zombie apocalypse. Anyhow, get to an area and someone has a loved one chained up. Name your zombie movie, and that scene is in it. So creatively, there's nothing new here.
We both know how this ends. He gets out and he will kill you.
But she actually she's a little rough here. She's a little too much like. She does that a lot. There's one moment where at the end of episode 3, she's like really wounded, or maybe it's 4, and she's putting on her jacket, and they hype up this song that is I Am a Human, and it's the original song is sung by a man. For some reason, they have a cover that's sung by a woman. I think they did that because woman, and I don't mean to say it like that, because the original song is fire. The cover of the song sucks. Dick, not because it's a woman, just because it doesn't have that oomph that the original did. They even kind of changed it to some degree in the cover to how it launches off with the oomph. Anyhow, so she's putting on her jacket, and she's all like instead of just being like calm the fuck down. But she does certain scenes competently. She does a little too much of this face stuff.
Where's the pocketbook?
Where's the pocketbook? Like, here, this is nice. She's like, okay, fine. Where's the pocketbook?
In his pocket.
Some of this is actually good. There's one more scene where she goes in and she's dressed ridiculous. Okay, yeah. He's eating cats. This is he rips through the gore factors. Cool. I dig this. Nasty. I dig it. They don't make any sound. They don't make any reference to any smells though, which is something they need. Don't forget the smells. Anyhow, only because it steals some of the immersion. Because instantly you're repelled and you're like ooh, and then you see the characters. Looking they're face down in a rotted bathtub full of, kitty corpses, and the character doesn't even flinch. You need them to be at least like, oh, because then it helps the immersion of the repugnant stink, that vibe you get when you see it, and you're instantly like, ugh. But when the character's just like, oh, kitty corpses, nice. It's like, okay, you ruined it. Now, so she has a moment. This is all a highlight because the rest is all trash.
Plan.
I don't know if I'll even be able to find it, but she does say, wait, why are you wanted? Or what did you do? And she's like, I didn't tie up my husband in a bathroom for starters. Something like that. Again, that little scene, done well. I'm not going to be able to find it. Just take my word for it. This, maybe it's like a 10-minute moment in here. Oddly, dialogue is competently written. It actually has nice beats comedically. It opens up a little bit to the character and helps you start liking them some. I'm shocked I can't find this scene here. Oh, yeah. You know why? Because it's back here more.
And by the way, Melinda, the cat thing, super fucked up.
Yeah, even here, she does like this extra masculine, like, super fucked up, bro, you know? Other than that, I like this scene. Came out good. Where's the moment where she's like, what did you do? No, I keep passing it probably. It doesn't matter. If you watch it, you'll know. Maybe it is all the way back here. You know what? It's right here.
Well, I didn't keep a fucking brain eater in my bathtub. Let's
Right,
start.
right there. Some of this does good. Let me throw Chase on a leaderboard. I'm going to finish this out by saying I don't know if I would be compelled to watch, and there's 5 more episodes. I don't know why I would waste my time unless we did some other review. And I don't know why I would review it, because there's no way in hell it gets any better. And I don't know if anyone even wants to hear me continue to bitch about it, because I'm not going to say anything good about it. This show is awful. Much like a lot of the content we're getting nowadays, the majority of it is awful. And we need these activists to get the fuck out of our movies. We had it back in the day, sure. But the difference between back in the day and nowadays is the same as comic books. You had stuff in comics, like some asshole will throw their thoughts and opinions about gun control in a comic, or abortion, or whatever it is. And the point, though, is it was sprinkled in here and there at moderation to where you can go, okay, I'll skip that. Okay, I'll ignore this line here. Just, we get it. You're venting, whatever. Nowadays, though, it is all throughout. Even, and I dare you to do this, and I started noticing, even when you watch true crime documentaries, fucking true crime documentaries. I was watching one about Ted Bundy. It actually devolved into an analysis of sexism and something about females being safe while outside and alone. And it's so weird as fuck, because you think, like, well, no shit, the cops are going to say, for right now, there's this psychopath. Be careful at night. Just stay home. Like, we can't protect everyone all at once. We don't have any, we don't know who the fuck this is, man, And there was one female there going, yeah, do you believe they had the nerve to tell us that? And I'm thinking, like, yeah, they don't want you dead. What do you mean? And then she's like, how sexist of a world do we live in where women can't walk at night in the dark by themselves without being attacked? Sexist? You fucking idiot. There's a goddamn serial killer out there? That doesn't have shit to do with sexism. There's a serial killer that hunts women. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, Jesus. I don't know. but it's bloated in everything. Resident Evil is another perfect example. You could pick out moments where you know the CEO right here is a female because they wanted a female in that position, not because they thought it would benefit the story or benefit any. They didn't see the actress and go, dude, no, she's perfect for this role. Nope, they sat down and said, we want to write this script, but we want a black lead, which in this case, it actually worked out because they snagged a great actor. So it works. But then they said, we want the female CEO. We want the boardroom to be diverse. Oh, and because we want a female minority lead character, we also have to incorporate other, distinctive in it that keeps it tricky to write more complex characters because now they have to be good at everything. She gets captured and shows up to the boss, and instead of having like showing her like a complexity within her character, maybe she's clever, maybe she outwits him. Nope, she like gets loose and punches him in the face. It's like, get the fuck out of here. How stupid is this writing? It's like a fourth grader obsessed with modern day politics and pop culture wrote it. What the fuck, bro? They do show the lickers, and I don't mean the lesbians. They do show the brain lickers. Yeah, I think is it here? They seem to have been done well. I watched it on my cell phone though, but it was a stupid scene because they go like this. Oh my God, it's the lickers. Where? They're the ones that they can't see, but they have super hearing. Oh, should we shut up? No, let's keep telling each other to be quiet. Let me just get rid of this. Don't save. I don't need that anymore. I think this is where they fight the spider as well. Is there a cool shot of the liquor? There should be. The tongue goes through a helmet. What are these helmets made out of? I don't know. But for a tongue to go through a helmet. The tongue probably has like a sharp tip to it, but it is what it is. I don't even see a cool image to like put on the screen while we talk. What the fuck? And, one more thing. The age of the lead character threw me for a loop. Unless I'm mistaken... Yeah, here's where she punches his weirdo in the face. Unless I'm mistaken, it was 14 years. Oh, look, Better Call Saul. They got 5 seasons on here. Look at that. Anyway, unless I'm mistaken, they skipped 14 years. Am I wrong? Now, the actress looks really fucking young. Like early 20s. So I looked it up. She's 25. She's supposed to be like, 16 or 15? It's been 14 years. So she should be around 30. That's a weird... Usually they cast older and then, do it younger. This one kind of was a bit iffy because I kept thinking like, something's fucking off. She doesn't look 30, man. And it doesn't matter, though. All right, let's go to the chat. My thoughts and opinions are over. I think Resident Evil TV show is yet again another swing and a miss. I keep hearing they're making this shit just for the money, which makes me a little bit, because if they would make a Resident Evil that is a little closer, that is a little more respectable of the source material, and that's not as dumb as shit, and that's more focused on some of the atmospheric, creepy zombie aspect, and lay off a bit of the Umbrella, especially at first. Lay off with the labs. Labs are fucking boring as shit, man. Lay off with that. You would have a franchise for the next 10 years that is making big bucks. This shit is not making big bucks nowadays. you'd have something that is crushing it. I said it before and I'll say it again. Resident Evil could be a Walking Dead, Last of Us. It could have been one of those TV shows. Instead, it's a CW, knockoff. Trash. So, we'll see what you guys have to say. This is the part of the podcast where my thoughts and opinions are done. Wait. My thoughts and opinions are done. And we're going to go into the fan feedback and see what you guys have to say. Let me look real quick at the previous comment. Big props again, Chase, for the $4 dono. I do want to say that I have heard of Love, Death, and Robots. I was going to watch it a month ago, but something about the anthology being mixed with cartoons and other stuff, I was a little turned off. But I did put it on my watch list, and I will check it out. But thank you very much for the 4. Yeah, she should have been dead on that car or broken something. JD says narcissists are incapable of creativity. That's a very good point. They are too busy sniffing arse, trying to figure out their identities. Mrs. Goddamn Community, yo. Chase misses it. She's made of adamantium. She's Wolverine's fucking second cousin's sister. Yeah, this show is definitely using the Resident Evil name, and it is making a mockery of it. Well, I mean, I personally feel like I could define what a female is. I think that argument's, I don't know. I mean, I'm good with my definition. Lickers were cool, but why the disrespect towards hunters? They were way more scarier than lickers. Roanoke Gaming has excellent video explaining the lickers. Should we shut up? No, let's keep talking. Telling each other to be quiet. Yeah, that's pretty much what they do. Have you seen The Kingdom, the Korean? Yes. It just got canceled. Oh, that's a shame. I think it's because of the time period. I liked it, but there was something missing that was like an it factor that made me want to just keep going with it. I enjoyed it, but I would find myself stop watching an episode, get tied up with something else, and then taking months to get back to it. And then when I got back to it, it was like, it is what it is, you know? Yeah, I'll give Love, Death, and Robots a chance. I don't think we can pull off an after stream. Like I said, these podcasts will keep short. If we did hit the goal as a reward, we might do a gaming stream after. But I do want to keep the podcast as short. But I don't really know of any other type of rewards that's beneficial other than extending streams, so we'll see. I have a little bit of work to do. I mean, I was thinking about playing a little bit of a video game tonight. I don't know what I was going to play though. So, I mean, I could probably jump on stream, but I wasn't going to play until later. Ultra Heroics says it's not rocket science. I agree there. This is what they should have done. Season 1, The Mansion. Season 2, Resident Evil, City of Dead. Season 3, Nemesis. You know, you could even extend it out to some degree. What is this one? Like 8 episodes? I guarantee I can write an outline for a TV show that has the mansion set up for 8 episodes, spilling over into the next part that would set up for the city, with additional original material that could work. But then the city, I do think, should be 2 seasons, though, depending on how thick the story is and what you do with the flow and yada yada yada. I think it could be pretty fire. And just some of the more video gamey bosses, I personally would be a little hesitant for, just because even in the video game they were my least favorite parts. But if I was in control, I would be fair enough to the fans to incorporate stuff that even I necessarily wasn't thrilled about. But I would kind of maybe, I don't know, man, make it less corny, I don't know, do something with it to make it just less corny, less cheesy action, schlock. But it would have to be fucking good, though. I guarantee it would be the scariest nemesis you've ever seen on screen. Because my idea would be like, that vibe where you get from a Terminator, where it's not cheesy at all. Like, this is a fucking Terminator coming after you. Like, that's some cool shit, and it looks cool and yada, yada, yada. That's what I would try to apply to a nemesis. Like, it is a legit threat instead of just this corny, Have I ever played CRPG? I don't even know what that is. Would I stream all the Resident Evil games? No, I wouldn't. I do have... what do I have? I do have... what do I got here? Resident Evil Collections, which is Origin Collections, which is Part 1 and Resident Evil 0. So here's Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil Part 1. Then I have Resident Evil 2, the remake. And then Resident Evil 3, the remake. And I've already streamed these two, that's why I wouldn't stream them, but I do plan on streaming 2 and 3 again, because I only played one of the characters, so I'll play the other character next. And I'm looking forward to just doing 2 the most, to be honest. 3 was, I don't know, I like it, but in the same strength, it just wears on me a bit. I love the nostalgia factor. But so that's 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. 4 is getting that remake. So that'll be my 4. I don't have a 5. I hate 5. I don't hate it, but I'm not a big fan of the action 5. I don't have 6. I do have 7, Resident Evil 7, which I love the environment. I love the atmosphere. I can't stand the monsters. Hey, let's have Resident Evil 7, very fucking graphically amazing, but let's have mold monsters. Yeah, I'm scared of mold. Jesus Christ. And then Resident Evil Village. Those are the Resident Evil games that I have. And like I said, I've already streamed 2, 3, 7, and 8. Some Resident Evil 2 would be cool with recent update. I can't wait till Wrath of the Righteous. It's so good. Is that a show? With the way the story unfolded in Resident Evil Village, don't be surprised if you see Wesker return. Poor Ethan. So C.D. Perry Noels were great and could be converted to a Resident Evil series. The S.D. Perry novels. Oh, I think you meant novels. Nemesis is old news. We have Lady D now. Honestly, if I had the chance, I would probably, you've guys gotten Nemesis, I would probably do a very atmospheric, gritty zombie focused with some mysterious lab hints, mansion that snuck into a lab, but keep it mysterious and keep it a cover-up. Even the stars get only part of the story, and then end it in that way to where, you know, you see the zombies, you see the mansion, you have some creepy, fucked up shit going on. You run into a few of the monsters, maybe even a big one for the end of the finale. But I probably wouldn't. That would probably be it. I probably wouldn't even stick around for Nemesis. If I was being honest, if I was ever given the chance, my main goal would be the fucking mansion. A Resident Evil movie with the mansion as the focus, like the first game leading into the basement setup and the, you know, that would be my focus. Atmosphere, creepy, scary as shit, done. Then I would walk away and say, you know, that's it. Are Resident Evil 0 and 1 the same? No. They're two different games. What are your thoughts on it? They even have different characters, totally. If you don't know what Resident Evil 0 is, you should look it up, because it's... Where's the guy? It's this guy. It's fucking corny as shit, though. It's this guy and that girl. See, you got, you know, Chris and Jill Valentine, right? In the first one, Chris Redfield, Jill Valentine, Barry, Wesker, they go into the mansion. And then 0 is that the one on the train car? I just know I wasn't a fan of Resident Evil 0. I felt like that was just a cash grab. I like 90s RPGs and 9C like Baldur's Gate 2. What are my thoughts on Resident Evil 4 Remake? I mean, I always thought Resident Evil 4 was overrated. I know that's like the grail in the fandom. One of a lot of fans. I always thought it was overrated. A big thing for me is taking away zombies. Resident Evil 4 does that. I think the tentacle stuff that pops out of their heads is dumb. I think the possession, the voodoo shit is fucking dumb. I mean, I don't like any of that. The guy that teleports is dumb. I hated all of that. The cheesiness is terrible. But if they give us a 4 remake, I think the nostalgia will be fun to play. If they tone down on the camp and the corniness, that'll be interesting. And outside of that, I would be fine if they get rid of the tentacles and just bring back classic zombies. I don't care if they carry weapons. I don't give a fuck. You know? Just give me zombies. Yeah, the train. 0 starts in the train. Well, I tell you what. Mr. Haley, though, you're not a zombie fan. So, of course you think it's played out, you know? You can't be a zombie fan and go, I'm a huge fan of superheroes, but also I don't want more superheroes. You can like superhero stuff. You can even be a fan of superhero stuff, but you have your limits. You're clearly not... I mean, you can't be a massive zombie fan. And I don't even want to say fan, because we're all fans of zombies. But you can't be one that constantly wants zombies. Like, give me 10 Resident Evil games with zombies in every single one. They don't have to only be zombies, you know? You can have the zombies as the basic initial enemies that used to first start the fight, yada, yada, yada. But I'm always going to be interested in zombie games. I'm always going to be interested in zombie movies. Part of the argument for that is there's so many zombie games out there that are trash. And there's not even half of the amount of zombie games that people think are out there aren't even fucking zombie games. I always hear the comment, there's too much zombie stuff. Well, I don't think so. There's not enough. First off, there's not enough good ones. And second off, there's not nearly as much as people think. Tell me 10 amazing, truly amazing zombie games I can play right now. Tell me 10 of them. Give me 10. amazing zombie games. Straight zombie, 10 amazing ones. And don't say Dying Light, Dying Light 2. Those are trash. I mean amazing. Like, even Days Gone, I'll count it. I will count Last of Us, even though they're infected with clickers. I'll count it. Last of Us, even the gameplay of Last of Us 2. Sure, that's 2. Days Gone, I'll count. That's 3. We still don't even have a classic zombie game that's amazing. Not one. Can't say Dying Light. Dying Light's trash. That is not good. State of Decay, I mean, I personally think that game is... It's not for me, but... I watched my friend play it. I haven't played it, so maybe I would have to sit down and play it to give it any credit. But, Dying Light 2 is ass. This is what I mean about... and again, it's my personal preference, but here we got... we don't have all these amazing zombie movies or games. We have a handful of them, sure. But people act like there's 30 or 50 of, it's so flooded. I don't think so. I don't think it's even close to being flooded. Even if you look back at older ones, nothing from, 2010 onward even fucking counts because the graphics are so outdated. The gameplay is so clunky. I mean, from 2010 onward, video game wise, let's make a list of how many amazing zombie games we got. Left 4 Dead Rising, that's a joke. No offense, but that's a joke. Left 4 Dead Rising could be a cool video game to play. I had a lot of fun playing the original, but it's not a great atmospheric zombie game where you're like, God damn, this is fucking it, The Evil Within Dead games, I have played it. I played it on stream a little bit. I think I'm going to try 2. Part 1's a bit off. I don't like the whole psychological sucked into mirrors. They started losing me. But the gameplay does feel clunky. The area where you're shooting zombies, I had a lot of fun with that moment, though. Yeah, part of the reason why I say Dying Light is a terrible game is because it has that first-person, non-interactive interactions. What I mean by that is the combat is like this. You swing a weapon, the weapon visually, you get the weapon animation, and then you have the enemy there, and based on whatever type of action the weapon does with the enemy, you'll just have the enemy ragdoll in different ways and lose body parts. Flies 10 feet this way, arm ripped off, kick to the ground. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't have that clean, I still think Last of Us, for as shit as the story is, probably got some of the movement, the gameplay. Absolutely, it's some of the best out there. But again, when I make a list of, and I don't mean like, you can even pick fun or good ones that you enjoy. But I'm talking, if we sit down and make a list of amazing zombie games, the list is going to be, you're barely going to have games to put on there. Off the top of my head, I only have Last of Us 1, 2, and Days Gone. Just off the top of my head. I could be missing something, but there's only 3. Dead Space is a game I absolutely love. I mean, it's not a zombie game, but if we want to do sci-fi horror, we can throw that on the board. And even with sci-fi horror, I was just having a conversation with my friend the other day because there's a handful of horror games we want coming out. And we were talking about, how crazy is it that you can't just sit down now, and with all the games out there, we don't have just like a stack of like some of the greatest games ever. Even some of the good games, like no offense, but Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon Forbidden West. There's a part of the game that I really appreciate and respect, but then there's a part of it that's just boring, basic, and repetitive. Like the enemies, robots, and yada, yada, yada. And some of it just feels like, Saturday morning cartoon-esque. Even then, even with, especially with the horror sci-fi genre, we have promise of a bunch of games coming out. Sons of the Forest, what's the Callisto Protocol? Callisto Protocol. Those aren't even out yet. I think now is the time for us to come out with that fire shit. The graphics are so crisp now that if we utilize the current technology to sharpen up the finer edges, we can have amazing shit that will stay amazing for the next decade plus. You know, it might feel a little outdated in 10, 15 years, but it'll still be viable. Even going back and playing like Red Dead Redemption 2. Sure, the options for what you can do aren't as massive as you initially think, and it feels more dated every year that it goes by. But it's a gorgeous looking game. Same for many other games that were released 2016, even 2015 and on. Original Last of Us, 2013, it looks good, but it's definitely dated. The remake will look great, and it'll look great for the next 10 years. You didn't like Last of Us story? Part 1 was amazing. 2 was absolutely terrible. Yeah. Hey, Jew, you got that wrong. I think Last of Us Part 1 was my all-time favorite video game. Gameplay, story, creatives. I don't know when I said it to make you think something different, but Last of Us 2 is the one where I think the story is shit. Dead Space isn't a zombie? Okay. I'll take one zombie game a year, but we're not even getting that. All right, we had Days Gone come out in 2018, right? What came out in 2019? Best zombie game. Give me an amazing zombie game in 2019. Give me an amazing zombie game in 2020. Give me an amazing zombie game in 2021, 2022. You can say zombie-esque, Last of Us 2. Sure, I will even count that. But we don't even have the greatest, atmospheric, great visuals, classic zombie game. Not one. There's not one out there. Not one. Not fucking one. And all I hear is zombies are everywhere. And I hear this from zombie fans. And I don't mean to argue, but I just want to say, how are you a fan of zombies if we don't have one classic George Romero zombie game out there, current day, that's fucking incredible, and you're saying, it's too much. It's too much. Left 4 Dead is overhyped. I had a lot of fun with it back in the day, but it's dated now. What was the other one? Back 4 Dead or something like that? It's co-op. I'm talking about, single player story, atmospheric. You can't get atmospheric in co-op. You can have that war type, with your backup there, run and gun. Brrr. You can have that, but you'll never get a creepy hallway with just some certain sounds and get that vibe and that immersion of even entering through a mansion and clearing out a mansion, exiting a mansion, going into a forest and going into a city. I mean, you won't get that. All right, Mr. Haley, let's say, did I say your name right, by the way? Let's say we'll just agree with you. Like I said, I watched a friend play it and I lost interest fast. But let's say I played it and I was like, oh, okay, you really have to play this to really get into it. That's one. We now have one. What year did that come out with? By the way. Having one, I'm talking we should have 20, 30 if it's flooded. When it comes to zombie movies, when I was making my list, I couldn't believe how many movies I was putting on the list saying, well, if there was better zombie movies out there, I wouldn't have to settle for this. There's only truly a handful of amazing zombie movies. And I mean outright Train to Busan amazing. Like from beginning to end, there's only a few flaws amazing. There's not many. There's a handful. And I know I'm going to piss off some fans by saying certain ones I enjoy, but they're not amazing. They're just kind of like, they're good, Like the Dawn of the Dead remake, for example. It's a terrible zombie movie. I know it has fans, but it's bad. The original Romero movies, I still watch them to this day and I find them nostalgic. They're not good. They're only good in a nostalgic way because I grew up on them. That was my first introduction into the zombie genre, and I love them for it. But I feel I can watch them and recognize it's not good. They look like they're Smurfs. They look like paint is shooting out of their head because they bought the wrong blood, the fake blood. And I can recognize that, but I still love them. State of Decay 2. Survival Horror State of Decay 2. What was the release date? Release date. Alright, so that was May 18, 2018. It's on Steam. Now, I do have Steam. I could, just for the sake of argument, because I need to be able to play it to... Wait a minute, hold on. This looks like it's up close behind your shoulder. The one I was watching my friend play was further away. It was third person, but you can see his full body. What is the difference here? Let me look at gameplay. I might honestly get State of Decay 2 to try it out on Steam just to see it, so that way I have an argument, because I don't think an argument... You know, I don't think you have enough ground for an argument until you play it. The Returnal, believe it or not, is a perfect example of having to play something to form an opinion of it. I visually saw someone play The Returnal, and it looked terrible. And then when I played it, I was shocked. The gameplay of Returnal, the game structure is one of the worst I've ever seen. The gameplay, though, is so incredibly fun and addicting. It's great. Now, I'm watching gameplay now. The camera does shift. Yeah, this is the game he was playing.
Pretty useful.
Yeah, because I remember it reminded me of PUBG with zombies and there was something else I hated. Is it like an MMO? Or I remember there was something I saw and I hated it.
Screw you, asshole!
Oh, shooting some zombies in the face.
I'll never get used to it. That wasn't okay.
I will try State of Decay 2. Don't be surprised if I'm not insanely impressed, though. Just because it comes off as... It comes off as like it has the potential to be decent. It really depends on how it feels when you're playing it, the world, and everything you can do. I only watched her get out of a car, go into a store, and then go into a house, and then run into a backyard right now. But I don't know. It doesn't look all that impressive visually. But we'll see. We'll see. Because like I said, you really got to play it to really feel it out. Silent Hill is creepy. The original, yeah, I agree. It was creepy back in the day. Even the movies weren't that bad. Could be a good streaming series though. If they don't have any new ones, I don't want to stream any old games. I think I pretty much made up my mind. I'm done with games that are 2010 and beyond. There's a few that I really truly love that I actually want to mess around with, even like retro games. But I don't want to make a habit of getting into. Like Silent Hill 1, I'm never going to play that again. The original. Resident Evil 1, like I said, is one of the most nostalgic. I'm not going to play it. It might be a rare scenario where I do. but I just have no need to play. It's old, it's dated. I just don't find it interesting. To watch it and hear it, you know, for the nostalgia is neat. There's something neat about it. But to play it nowadays, it's so dated. I think it's bad. I agree. Resident Evil is trash. Barely made through the 2 episodes. It is. It's loaded with woke too. Yeah. Let me catch up with. John Rod said Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 4. I'm assuming you're talking about the remakes. I'm going to let the Resident Evil remakes go in there. I mean, like, again, that's your list. Me personally, I think the Resident Evil 2 and 3, again, they're short ones. They're, the zombies are basically like, they're the pawns on the board. They're just kind of like fodder in the world for the real enemies that come through. But as far as being visually, I love the visuals of them, and I love the nostalgic look of them. But there's not enough there. It's nice to have those, but there's not enough there. But I'm fine with someone throwing them on the list. I will argue Left 4 Dead, Dead Island, and Dying Light, like some of these games. I just feel like you're naming popular zombie titles. Like Zombies Ate My Neighbors. The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners is an interesting one. It's another good example of that's a zombie game. It's a zombie game I had a lot of fun with. But it's not a zombie game with a lot of atmospheric depth, story. I mean, you literally go to a few different maps and you run around and do the same thing. If it wasn't for the VR, Saints and Sinners would not be interesting at all. Yeah, and again, I'm not talking about what's come out in the last 30 years, like Resident Evil, it was so good, 2 was so good for its time. I'm talking about like modern day. What kind of game can you put in now that looks gorgeous, great immersion, very atmospheric, that's a true zombie feature that you can really get in there and fucking have at it, man. Yeah, and like I said, I respect and loved Resident Evil 2 and 3, especially the visuals for so much, but it's so fucking limited. You shoot a couple zombies, you find a key, go here, run away from Tyrant, do a little puzzle, shoot a few more zombies. You know, I don't know. I love it for what it is, but I don't think it is... I don't think it's enough to say the zombie genre in video games is there's too much or flooded or we don't need any more. I think we need plenty more. I mean, I don't know, Mr. Hadley. It doesn't look scary. What's nightmare mode? What about nightmare mode does it change? Because visually, it doesn't look scary. Then again, like, I'm real fucking hard to scare. Because keep in mind, ever since I was like, 14, I've been in love with the horror genre younger. I have horror characters and Halloween props and stuff constantly displayed around my house, like a coffin and skulls and graveyards. I look at that shit and I'm comforted. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it really takes a lot to creep me out. Nice atmospheric, creepy vibes can do it, but it really takes a good something. But I will look up State of Decay 2 nightmare mode.
Hello, survivors. My name is Executioner, and I'm narrating this video on behalf of Arvin, your State of Decay guide. In this video, we are going to see 46...
Let me see what nightmare mode is. State of Decay, nightmare mode. My normal day in nightmare mode. State of Decay, ultimate nightmare mode. Is it just more difficult? Is that the thing? They have red eyes.
Oh my goodness, my stamina is running down super fast.
This guy is...
Goodness.
Yeah, this guy's just running past. He just ran past 200 zombies. I don't know if I would. Oh, you know, I've seen enough. I have it on my list. I'm gonna check it out because I got to see it for myself. Because these people making videos might be, you know, looking to do something specific. I don't know, John Rod. I felt like the discussion was about not just like what zombie games are out there. Like, I don't even count Call of Duty Zombies. It's literally just, you know, it's literally target practice. It's just there's a bunch of zombies, shoot them before they get in and kill you. I don't know. I wish I had the words to describe it though. But you know, I'm talking about like in whole, not just how many fun or decent or well-liked zombie games have been made in totality. I'm talking how many truly honest, you know, long-lasting, legendary, visually appealing, smooth-playing, classic zombie, not twisted up with a little bit of zombie, a little this, and I'll even count some of the newer ones that are zombie-esque, but my argument is there's not many, you know? And I understand it's going to be heavily, you know, preference, but I still will say objectively, I don't see how we can count Dead Island, Dying Light 1, Dying Light 2. You know, I mean, there's zombies in it, and there's, you know, there's action, but yeah, I don't know. It's just clunky. Yeah, PUBG, I can't stand PUBG. I found it to be a clunky mess. I don't have thoughts on Death Stranding. I haven't played it yet. I wasn't interested in 7 Days to Die. It feels like repetitive nonsense. I was interested at first until I found out you know, build a little... 7 Days to Die is like taking Call of Duty zombie levels, mix it with like Minecraft, you know, concept, mixed it with, you know, the forest or some shit like that. And then, you know, with zombies and you have to protect your level. I just have no interest in building up an area, protecting it for 7 days, fighting off zombies. I want to go out and explore. I want to take a character. Like, I think that's why I felt a love for Days Gone the way it was. Take a character, I need to go through this town, or I can just go through a town and I can see where, you know, part of the town was trying to evacuate just by based off of leftover elements, remnants of the world, the bodies, the, you know, the body bags, and I could just see what happened when the fall. And then boom, oh no, I ran into a handful of zombies. I make my way into a building. They go by. I start looting the building. It's quiet. You can hear the cracks of the building. There's a zombie or two in there. You know, my silencer pops, or maybe I throw one out of a window, or, you know, and then something happens. I make a little noise, and then more zombies are coming. I make a getaway. You know, something where you can go out and explore. It doesn't even have to be open world either. Big levels, atmospheric, graphics of modern day, though. I haven't played Little Nightmares 2, no. No. Yeah, I'm not into those bland or repetitive ones, though. I do have to get rolling. I think we've definitely went over the time, you know, kind of off topic with Resident Evil. I should have just left it open to do a longer stream. It's still early yet. I may have a chance to jump back on tonight, maybe like 9. I don't know. Maybe like 8:30 let me see what I can do. And maybe we can jump in for a game stream. If not, tomorrow, 6 p.m., the members-only stream so we can discuss what's coming up, kind of get a feel for, just get a feel for things. We'll discuss it then because there's a few topics I want to discuss. I'll see what I can do about jumping on tonight for some gaming, but no promises just because I might get tied up with getting some work done. All right, guys, thank you very much. Be safe, and I'll see you on the next one.